everybody. Welcome to another episode of Opportunities Connected. We have an awesome episode with you today, and thanks for joining us here again every week here on an awesome show. What's up, Justin? How you doing today?
What's up, brother? How's everything going for you?
Oh, man, it's excellent. And I'm excited that we're going to go into another wonderful episode of Opportunities Connected. Make sure you subscribe, you like, and you share. Welcome to Opportunities Connected. Justin, yes, man. Another week.
Going?
Yo, it's going great. I'm excited that we get to do this. It's such a great thing. And I love that we have a great opportunity to do this show. And the word opportunity is in there for a reason, because these types of things don't come often. And we're excited that you get to join us every week here for another episode where we get to uplift each other. And today's topic is, and I'll let my brother intro that topic for us. It's such a powerful one.
Yes, the power of kindness.
Woo!
The absolute power of kindness, and having that it's always okay mindset. Like there's always a way mindset.
Yes.
So, yes, that's what we're diving into today.
That is. And we can't wait to share more about it. And remember to subscribe, reach out to us, of course, at info@talkconnected.com and share. And before we hop into it, how you doing? I just want to, start, since we're talking about the power of kindness. Very good to see you, sir. It's sunny outside. It's a nice day. We get to walk forward, catching more bees with honey. And speaking of catching more bees with honey, I know that sometimes people often look at kindness as a weakness, or clearly that person is the mark. Clearly that's the person we're going to be able to take advantage of, not realizing the strength behind kindness.
Yes, 100%. So one thing that I say all the time is sometimes we need to lose battles to win the war. We're always trying to win every single debate, every little situation, but all that is negative energy, thinking that we have to win. What if it's a give and take?
Right.
What if we start treating life as a give and take? So, for example, your expression of getting honey with bees, right?
Yes.
Well, it's so easy to fall into the trap of I have to be right or I have to win this debate.
Right.
And what I mean by that is, for me, the power of positivity first starts with myself. And there's certain words that I try to never say. That way I can always say the positive person that I am. So before I get into the why I do these things, I'm going to say what those words are. So I never want to say the word but, because if I'm telling you things and then I use the word but, I just completely erase everything that I just told you. For example, like, hey, I appreciate the hard work you're doing, but this could be better. By saying but, you just completely ignored and retracted what you just said.
Yeah.
So that's a word I never want to say. The second word I never, ever want to say is no. Even with my kids, right? Wow. Can we have this toy? Instead of saying, no, you can't have this toy. Oh, that's a great toy. I'm sure we have toys like this at the house. Or, you know what? I will give you a challenge. If we do more of this, then we'll be able to get that toy. Or not at this moment, but it's on the radar. Like, keep being good at home, things like that.
Yeah, I get it. And that's the thing. It's like, don't confuse kindness with not being able to hold others accountable or not being able to confront an issue. And I love that you brought up some of the things that you want to make sure you don't use in your language, like the word but or the word no, because while you might have good intentions or want things to progress forward, sometimes those things can make you take a step back, and not necessarily for the positive. You want to have it be a constructive conversation. And so when you're trying to maintain accountability, or if you're trying to maintain a progressive relationship with it, whether or not it's with your child, with another adult you're in a relationship with, whether it's work or, even just your relationship with your partner, your spouse, so on and so forth, a family member, you don't want to discount the effort you're trying to make by using words that take away from it. And kindness, in fact, isn't something that pulls away from holding someone accountable. In fact, it might help you walk into that situation a lot easier. You're able to kind of address some things because you are using this tool or this genuine feeling of kindness. Because when you're coming at someone and you're trying to be trying to provide constructive criticism, you're not interested in tearing that person down, and it has to be genuine there. Of course, don't go in to kick someone when they're down, but if that person is your teammate and you want to have growth with your team, that constructive criticism is a positive thing, and you can be kind giving it. And
100%.
yeah,
Yep. Yeah. So one thing that you said that's huge is if you feel a certain type of way, don't just let it slide.
right.
Say specifically how you feel. Be very clear. Don't lecture.
Yeah,
Be extremely kind about it. Whether you just absolutely dislike what you just saw.
yeah,
If you come at someone very aggressive, guess what? They're putting the walls up. They're shutting down. They're not going to listen to you.
that's true. That's
But
true.
back to your point is if you feel some type of way, say it.
Yeah,
Don't hold back because that's not being polite. Being
that's
polite
right.
is not like bowing out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And in fact, the reason why we had there is that saying you catch more bees with honey is because you can easily like let people control you, or you can be kind and remember that it's always okay. So you don't allow some of the things that might be antagonistic by someone else to control your output. You don't need to mirror their energy. In fact, you can there are ways you can talk to each other, our children, our friends, and significant others in a way that disarms that antagonism, whether or not it's a person who is a loved one who might be going through a frustrating moment, or you're just trying to have a civil conversation. Maybe it's a disagreement, or it's a coworker who you might not have the same relationship you have with that coworker as you do with your friends or with a relative or with some of the folks you live with. And so sometimes they have that guilt-free like activity of trying to be antagonistic with you, but you don't have to receive that and repeat it. You can come back at them and disarm them. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for pointing that out.
One thing you have to remember is when people come to work like that, it's 90% not your fault. Maybe something's happening at home and they feel like they need to regain their power by belittling people at work or yelling or putting people down at work. So understanding other people's situation, even if you don't know their situation, just understanding that there could be outside factors. Maybe you could be that person that changes their life. Like when they come to work and you're just positive for no reason, positivity spreads, So smiling, start with the way you look, your body posture. People remember your smell more than what they see. So making sure you smell good every day.
That's it. That's
my number one thing. If you come to my house, you're going to smell like cooked food or bread, like something that smells amazing.
And welcoming.
That way, welcoming 100%. And when I go to work, when I go to a facility, I make sure I have my finest cologne on.
There you go.
This is all very important because how do you want people to remember you? Like, it's not just you, like we see each other every day. No, every single time we see each other, I want to make sure you have a great memory of me. So on top of smelling good, guess what? I also put notes about people in my iPhone. Like I have a lot of friends. So I put like their favorite foods, their favorite like places to go, their favorite activities.
Right.
Remembering the small details. And let's be legit. We don't have to keep everything in the head. Like
that's right. It's always okay to make mistakes.
Yeah, take notes. And right before you hang out with somebody, just pull up the notes. Oh, wait, their son's birthday is coming up. So while everyone's waiting for a Facebook notification, I'm going to send you that message ahead of time. Hey, isn't your son's birthday next week? It's like, wait a minute. We just met. Like, how do you remember that?
Yeah.
That is what I want people to remember about me. So my team, we have very detailed notes about every single one of our members in our facility, in our martial arts school. and we send anniversary texts like to the parents, even though they're not a part of our program, their kids are. We
Yeah.
send happy birthday text message to our students. We're always looking, how can we go further?
Right.
Okay. And it's not just at work, like me as an individual. How can I be the best of friend
Yeah.
of your friends, the greatest of friends?
That's
So,
it. That's it. And
yes.
you raised some good points in terms of being in the practice of often helps you to be in that space even when you're not practicing it. It becomes second nature. And so as you're moving forward in that direction, sometimes we hit places where it's troubling. We might hit a hard time, and being kind to another person might not always be the first thing that comes to mind, especially when you're in a difficult situation. So it's about remembering the means and the ways of distressing yourself. And for me, music is, one of the things that adheres to my soul. So I often turn to music as a meditation space. But, recently I've been doing martial arts with Justin, and it's been a great centering space for me as well, and as well as looking at healthy ways to be out, like taking a walk or even jogging, and those things might not necessarily be for everyone, but there are things that help you to find your center. And if you haven't found those things, there's some spaces and some ways to find those things, and we'd be happy to share those with you. But a part of doing that ends up making it second nature for you to find your peace. If somebody's trying to knock you off center, find your center, so that when you're responding, you're not mirroring with that negativity, or when you're in a troubled place, you're not projecting that negativity onto others. And I know that's easier said than done. And as long as it's not done intentionally, we're all going to make mistakes. We are human. We're going to say some things here and there that we may not mean, because we're in a space that we haven't been in or don't like to be in, and sometimes we might snap at our loved ones. But the power of kindness is what helps us to bring us through, because it's more than just a word or a phrase. It's about a way of being.
Yeah, and here's an expression I want everybody to remember. Our goal is to not have to ever snap at our partner or
Yeah,
people in our
that's
life.
it. That
The
really.
phrase I want you to remember is, it's always okay.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a story, right? This was actually before COVID. So we're in 2023 right now, before 2019,
Yeah.
So I teach inside local elementary schools. Like, that's another thing that I do. I go to local schools and I speak to kids in the elementary classrooms just to build that positivity. So it's a rainy day. Like, it just happened to be a rainy day when this happens. I'm on my way to teach at a school I've never taught at before. So this is my first impression.
Yeah.
My wife gives me a call while I'm on my way. Hey, I'm stuck on the side of the road. My tire popped. I have to be at the school in like the next 5 minutes. Like, I'm pulling up. My wife is on the highway, tire popped. I could have easily got frustrated. Oh, right now, this is the worst time. But remembering the phrase, it's always okay.
Yes.
And that allowed me to take action without stressing myself. Oh, what if I ruin the relationship with the school? Oh, I can't leave I could have easily, my wife and I could have argued for something so simple, right?
Very small, right?
Yeah. Oh, actually, let me correct the story to add more intensity to the story. Her tire did not pop. She ran out of gas. So we all have those moments where we tell our spouse or partner, hey, don't let the gas.
Yeah, don't forget that.
So the one time she runs out of gas, that's what actually happened. I'm on my way to school talks. But again, I took immediate action. I called the school. I really apologize to do this. My wife is on the side of the road right now. I need to take care of that. Okay.
Yeah.
They were fully understanding. Our initial mindset would have told us, oh, what if I lose the school? They'll never invite me back again. Everything negative. But my friends, it's always okay.
Always okay.
I go to my wife. I go to a local gas station. I get a tank, fill her up. She's on her way. I can't go back to the school. It's a rainy day. I'm drenched. Like,
Right.
it is what it is. I call the school the next day. and I bring them donuts and coffee for the teachers to make up. And guess what? I was able to teach in that school multiple times throughout the year.
After that. And that was your first time working with that school.
With that school, yes.
You know, and just like you said, like the goal here and it's not to put yourself in a position where you're snapping back or reacting out of frustration. With everything is okay. Everything is going to be okay. And I know there are moments, you know, where it seems like, man, what you guys are saying, I mean, clearly that doesn't line up with my reality and stuff. But if you dig in, if you look at it, you take a step back, there is a solution to what you are going through. There's a way to go through it. And one of the things we want to help you remember is that moment. How did you distress yourself? Relieving yourself, even with folks I've spoken with and have learned with, some of my mentors and then folks I get to mentee. One thing that transitions all the way through is being okay with losing, being okay with making mistakes helps relieve some of that stress so that you can 100%. Move forward and stuff. And then it's like it puts you in a position with that power of kindness to be able to disarm angry people. And that's 100%. One of the things I love, and I've even learned from you, Justin, is what are some of the ways that you use to disarm angry people with kindness?
Yes, 100%. So step number one is you must truly care.
Yeah.
So I don't care how small their argument is. It may be small to you, but it means something to them. That's why they're upset. You can think they're being over the top. You can give them that horrible title, the Karen. But let's put ourselves in their shoes for a split second and truly feel what they're going through. Like, you know what? Maybe this means something to them. So it's going to mean something to me in this moment. Second, like, listen, stop talking. Yeah. Once you approach them, like, hey, what's going on? Stop talking and listen. Number three is you have to let them know that you truly understand. And make them feel important. Your challenge, like not your problem, don't say your problem, your challenge, because this can be resolved, is a challenge for me as well. And together we are going to solve this. If you're upset about my service, I'm going to do you better. Okay? Next one's going to be better or it's on me.
Yeah.
If like whatever it is, my friends, even if it's with your spouse, whether it's selling, okay, you have to care.
Yeah.
You have to try to put yourselves in their shoes, make them feel important, okay? And no matter who you're selling to, no matter who you're trying to disarm, you're going to disarm if you're on the same team. But if it's you versus them, somebody has to win, somebody has to lose. So at the beginning of the show, I said we must lose some battles to win the war.
Yeah.
So if you're negotiating with me, guess what? I'm going to lose something first. That's what I'm looking at. What am I okay with giving up?
Right.
So that way I get what I want.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So, and then, you know,
yes,
it's just like it's something that can apply to so many situations. You know, whether or not you're at work and you are dealing with a difficult coworker or a difficult manager, you know, and just kind of understanding, okay, even if in your mind it feels like, okay, this person is being unreasonable, you know, clearly something is off. Remembering what was said earlier, a lot of times it doesn't necessarily have to do with you. There's something going on in that person's life, and this is the way that they're moving forward and reacting to it. Find out what the real issue is, and we're not asking you to be an investigator or, you know, you're the top journalist on the story, but you're trying to figure out, okay, what's actually happening here? What is the answer to this actual question here? All right, this person's concern are these things. Hey, I understand. Thank you for being patient with me. I understand that these might be some of your concerns. Here's a way I can answer that. I hope that answers your question.
And not to cut you off, but losing the battle is maybe admitting to a fault in that.
Yeah, owning it.
Right there. And then you get what you want, because moving forward, this is what we'll do. And I'll make sure that I won't do that anymore, whatever is truly bothering them.
Right.
But keep going. I didn't mean to cut you off. But
you're good. Look. See, he was owning it. And look, I'm all open to it. We're receptive. We understand that. And same with family. Oh, we all got family. We love each other. We'll do everything for each other, but there are always moments where there's moments with your family where someone isn't receptive to the other and you're trying to deal with it and try to move through things. The same thing there. There are ways to work through it because at the end of the day, you're on the same team. We all love each other. We all want to see each other do better. Even if you believe that that person sometimes is just trying to be antagonistic, there does it might not necessarily have to do specifically with you, and and
What's
that
the
power,
true
that
issue?
power of kindness. And then also, hey, it's everything's going to be all right.
100%. It's always going to be okay.
Always going to be okay.
Always.
Hey, you did what you could with kindness. You're going to go home. You're going to be able to sleep that night. You're going to be able to move through the rest of your days and your actions and your goals, focused on making sure you're moving forward at that speed, and hopefully would have had a positive impact on that other person.
Yeah.
And then, like, Justin, tell me some of the ways to win negotiations.
Yeah, so actually, this is spot on with the last aspect we were just talking about.
Right.
But number one is, what am I willing to give up? So what am I willing? I'm not going to bring the price down. That I don't discount because I know my value. But what am I willing to give up? What can I do for that person?
Right.
Okay. Instead of what can I get? A lot of people go into negotiations as what can I get? What can I win? But I go into every single negotiation as what can I do for this person? Like, what do they want? What can I give them right away? What am I willing to lose that is not past my hard point? Because there's a point that I'm not going to give up. For example, I'm not ever going to lower my prices.
Right.
I'm not going to I'm not going to give my kids,
Right.
Everybody has that line that they're not willing to give up.
Right.
So you have value, understanding your value, but also understanding that they're valuable too. And they view themselves as valuable. So if you go into this, hey, I appreciate your time first and foremost. Okay. I understand you're a very busy person. For example, if you're trying to buy a house, right? You have a beautiful home. There's no doubt about that.
Right,
If you overselling the house, like let's say this is an individual investor trying to sell their house. Like, man, the work you put in, I am very, very great job making them feel important. You're just milking it. Now, let's lay out the facts. That's number two. Is I'm gonna come at you with facts. The average house in this area is this. Okay.
Yeah.
You can't sell this house for 200,000 more, but I appreciate what you did to the house, so I will do this price.
Yeah.
Now I've controlled the range of the price.
Right.
And all he knows is I've given him his accomplishments. I've acknowledged his accomplishments.
Credit.
Great. I went up a little bit higher than the average house in the area.
Right.
But I'm not going all the way to the top. So now he's going to come back at me with a price around what I wanted, which is not what I would really sell for. I mean, buy for, but it's a lot lower, and he thinks he has a deal.
Yeah.
Then if he goes up 10,000 more, you know what? That's such a great price. Can you meet me a little bit 5,000 cheaper, and then we'll close right now.
Right.
Of course, I'm not giving anybody advice on how to buy a house.
Right.
Just an example. Get your appraisals, all that stuff.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, definitely talk to the pros. But yeah, just as an example of being able to negotiate with kindness, that you hit it right on it.
Control the playing field. Yes.
Exactly. And that's the thing. You understand that it's going to be a back and forth, and understanding the situation when you walk into it. You know what kind of hassle it's going to be if you're walking into a sales floor at a car dealership. No one enjoys that. I haven't met that one person that does. But
I'm not that guy.
Yeah. And then, but if you have to understand before you get there, the things that you're going to give up, you're definitely going to be giving up time, and they aren't a charity. So they're definitely not going to be giving up a lot of money. But even looking at situations, whether or not you're at work, in your personal relationships with family, in a personal relationship with a loved one or a friend, or even negotiating with your kids. If you have children, negotiating is like a nonstop thing, 24/7. In fact, I guarantee you, our kids are probably much better negotiators than we are with them. They are 9 times out of 10 getting more of what they want.
Yeah.
But
And not to jump to a different subject.
it's good to sandwich it. Go ahead.
Yeah. But the power of positivity for those who are in relationships or looking for relationships.
Yeah.
Again, we talk about how you look. Are you smiling? Like, are you presentable? Make those eye contacts. Have a nice smile. A lot of people veer away from that when they make eye contact with somebody. If you're like you're single, smile, make that eye contact, expect nothing in return, or just go and say, "Hey, how's it going?" And then for those who are going through a breakup, the power of positivity is on your side. Because one thing that always happens is you always get what you deserve. If you're a positive person, guess what? You're going to attract someone positive to you.
Yeah.
It takes time, but allow yourself to be surrounded, allow yourself to be positive. Okay.
There's a phrase out there, and you know, this part, you know, of course we try to be organized and know, of course, before we meet up and do this, you know, what we're going to talk about. But there's a phrase out there that nice guys finish last, and I remember they used to drive me so crazy when I was younger because I often, you know, my mom, you know, raised me as respectable and making sure I, you know, hold the door open, walk on the outside, try to be a good gentleman, all of those things. And then I got to a place in my life where there was a key phrase in there that a lot of people always pass over. Nice guys finish last. The word finish is in there. It's going to happen. Nice guys finish. Everybody else doesn't necessarily finish. People keep forgetting that part. You know, and everyone is often like, well, I'm going to be the toughest. I'm going to be the hardest out there. Can't nobody touch me type of thing. And I'm like, you know, either you're going to be your real self and genuine to yourself and using your heart and your kindness to move forward, or you're going to play this persona that you think everybody else thinks you should be and not finish at all.
Yeah.
You know? And just remembering everything, it's always going to be okay.
Yes, give it time, take action. That's how success is created. That is literally how success is created. Drive, empathy, motivation, positivity. Okay, you can get whatever you want in this world with those things.
Yes,
100%.
If you have any questions, I mean, of course, these types of subjects that we often talk about, especially the power of kindness, and then just how to kind of work through your day or your week or your year and your life with those things, please reach out to us, info@talkconnected.com. Leave a comment. We'd love to, we try to make sure we're very responsive with you. Leave a comment, talk to us. We'd love to keep that conversation going and maybe even talk to you or bring it up on the next episode. But one of the things we love to do is try to make sure we are working with you, our community, our Opportunities Connected community as we move forward. This is such a meaningful subject for the both of us. It's some of the things that we try to deal with all the time. We know what it's like also both of us being men and African-American men and the United States of America, and the power of kindness, you know, sometimes isn't something that's associated according to stereotypes of what people see on TV, and then they're often disarmed when they meet us. And so it was a subject that we really wanted to talk about, and it's real. And that's what it's about. It's totally genuine. Sometimes people initially when they meet you, you're like, that can't be. But you can only hold, like if someone is trying to pose or pretend something, they can't do that forever. You know, This is a part of who you are and who you and who you become when you start to live this type of way, and you try to make sure that this is a part of your mindset. How can I move forward positively rather than moving forward trying to tear everything down?
You're going to get what you put out.
Yep.
If you fake who you are, that's what you're going to get. If you be genuine to who you are and bring positivity to that, you're going to get something positive. That's exactly how you are, exactly what you want.
Yeah, man. And so again, as usual, we want to thank you all for joining us here every time here on Opportunities Connected. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Like we mentioned before, the email, it's right there on your screen, info@talkconnected.com. And we'd love to hear from you. Justin, always a pleasure to see you.
Likewise, brother. I appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you all for joining us here on Opportunities Connected, our opportunity to build as well. And we'll talk to you all soon on the next episode of Opportunities Connected. Bye, everyone.
Take care.